All right, another one. Uh, Investing in ourselves. The split between character, which is based on value, principles, and solid style base, and personality based on actions and behaviors. What? Holy shit, man. I have evolved a lot from this stable base. All right, so here, look, okay, let me explain it. So there's why we do what we do, and there's how we do what we do, right? Why we do what we do is based on the values and principles that we have, right? That's basically what's written right here. It's a note. Remember, don't get crazy, man. I just wrote a random note of something that was happening in my head, and this is what I'm reading right now. And that basically is a solid, stable base. That's what I wrote it. And personality. Personality, which is based on actions and behaviors. And here I circle how. A personality is the external interaction with society. Okay? Here, let me read it. Investing in ourselves. The split between the character, which is based on the values and principles. Here we go. See the why? And here is basically me saying it's solid, stable base. And the personality, which is basically actions and behaviors. And the how exists external interaction with society. So personality in this video note script is basically the external interaction with society, while a character is based on values and principles. Now, I'm 100% with the character is based on values and principles. Yes. I feel the most important thing to ask ourselves every day is, what are my values? And again, they are my values. You should be asking yourself, who am I every day? Like, who am I? And whatever you respond should be something that you don't understand. If it's something that you do understand, like I am a human being, no, that's not what you are. A human being is basically the form you have in this world, right? Who are you? I am the connection between my mind and this body. It's like, oh, Khamenyuki, right? Like, what the fuck is that? And then have that conversation, and then you kind of realize, like, oh, I am the reflection of God. I am the universe manifesting itself. I am the spirit and soul of life expressing itself through trees, through wood, through animals, through human beings, through thought, through mind, through energy. All of these. Who am I explores itself in multiple ways. But right now, why am I this way is what I'm asking this question. Why do I do what I do is the question. And I feel that's where values and principles come about. It's like, okay. And again, honesty and shit like this, go fuck yourself. Those are not values. Those are bare principles. If you're not honest, you will spend your life, I don't know. I've been in a state with my life where I was not, I wouldn't want to call them, there are values, and, okay, hear me out. If my value is transparency and honesty is not the baseline, then how can I honestly be basically approach transparency? Right? Because I can think I'm transparent, but because I'm not familiar what honesty is. I'm not really honest with myself. I'm not really like truthful when it comes to things. Then ultimately what happens is I think I'm transparent, but I'm not. So there are certain things that are like the baseline of kind of like, the baseline of strength, I guess. Or the way I describe it is like every value kind of has like supporting values. And I feel like honesty is just a support for existence, period. Like, if you can't tell what is the truth and what isn't. And again, it could be a bias to you, right? Because if you're looking at something that is your truth, if you can't label that, or if you can't see that, or if you can't accept that, or if you're not able to kind of like understand why it is the way it is, that at the base, you're already like off. like you need a lot more questions to ask yourself before making statements or declarations or decisions. You should never make statements, by the way, my bad. Making declarations or taking decisions based on what you think is right or wrong or what you think you're doing. And I say that basically from my experience perspective. For 20 fucking years, I thought I knew what the fuck I was about. I thought I knew how I was. I thought I knew everything. But the truth is, after a while, I realized that it doesn't matter what I did. I am always challenging. I'm always being challenged by my actions, which shouldn't work that way. Because ultimately, if you have a strong character, then the strength of a character is how in tune you are with how you see yourself, with your values and with your principles. For example, one of my values is intention. And so I started realizing, like, you know, why would I do something I'm not intentional about? Or if I'm going to do something or decide I'm going to go for it or take the decision I'm going to go for it, then ultimately what I do is I kind of give it my intention. And I started realizing the things I say yes to, but I don't actually give them intention. And as I started seeing that, I started realizing how they consume energy without me actually giving them. And eventually I started realizing the things that I wasn't really interested in, I just say yes to for other reasons. And then I started discussing other reasons with myself and figuring things out. So the values that you have are the baseline of your harmony, are where yourself expresses from. Or at the very least, that's literally how I see the world. Because, like, you know, these are the values I work with, these are the principles around them. And the principles around those values are literally the actionable items, the way you act. Like, you know, acting with love could be tough love, or it could be supportive love, or it could be questioning love, or it could be criticizing love. Like, there's a whole lot of like these kinds of things, and the principles are the representation of your values. But ultimately, they're how you could actually interact with those values through the things that you do, right? Like, you know, I want to be transparent. For example, one of my 3 values is expression. And one of the supporting factors of expression is basically transparency, because, like, you know, you kind of have to be transparent in order for you to be able to kind of like express properly. If you're not expressing properly, so the value itself is kind of like a dud, right? It's an empty fucking bullet. It's a shell. It's just there because I wanted it to be there. I wanted to talk about it. So that's basically me being honest with myself, and the transparency behind it allows me to kind of like explore, okay, do I want to express myself in a blunt way, in an in-your-face way, in a subtle way? What is it? What form of expression? And is where principles lies. So I feel like that's where character kind of like, you know, absorbs the world around it. Because the way you're doing things and why you're doing things is effectively like, you know, people noticing what kind of character you have or what kind of person thought it is. Oh, thought it is that guy, thought it is that guy, thought it is that guy, thought it is that guy. Yay! It's a label, by the way, they give you, right? Nobody knows what's going on in your head. Nobody can see you the way you do. Nobody can interact with you the way you do. And ultimately, you develop anything you fucking want. Again, just try not to be an asshole. And I say that it's because for you, because my favorite quote from Norwegian Wood by Murakami, he's a writer, is don't feel sorry for yourself. Only assholes do that. That's true. An asshole always is feeling sorry for themselves. Anyways. On the other side, what we're doing is we're testing, right? Like, you know, we have personality, and personality is the actions and behavior. So there's why you do things and how you do things, and how you do things seem to be an expression of your actual principles. Okay, so what are your principles? How do you figure them out? And it's in between the values that you have and the actions that you take live these principles. They're kind of like the in-between. Now here, they seem to be a lot more characteristic, right? Because they're a lot more representation of the character. But in order to see what your personality is, the personality is based on how you do things. Oh, he's a nice guy, he's a kind guy, he's a straightforward guy, he's an emotional guy. All of these are personality traits. We're no longer characteristic. We're no longer talking character. We're talking characteristics, I guess. Characteristics. Interesting. I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about. A A personality is an external interaction with society. That's what I wrote, right? Here. And let's just say I agree with that. Why would I not agree with that? I wrote that a year ago, and now I'm debating it. And a personality is basically actions and behaviors. Do you think personality is a lot more innate? Right? A personality is a lot more vibe? Is it a lot more of a vibe or a feel that you kind of like, the way you do things, it has a feel to it, has a kind of like, sentiment to it? Like I have an aunt of mine that anytime she speaks as if she's about to die and depressed. And fuck yeah, her character is very like meek, but her personality is very depresso. Is that like a difference? Is that like a valid difference? I don't know, but I'd imagine when we're investing in ourselves, we kind of have to find that balance. Because it's really like, how is it I would want to do things, or how is it that I do things with why I do things. And I feel that's kind of like a good combination. There's definitely, like if you look behind me, really over there, who, what, why, where, how, and when are ultimately the questions that we have to keep asking ourselves. So I just wanted to, I don't know how this video fucking ended, man, but it's perfectly fine. I love you, and yes.